today. Hello. I'm kind of late today. I'm a few minutes behind. I'm not even all done setting up. I was just kind of being lazy. Being lazy. All right, let me get all set up. Not be so lazy. Okay. So it's Mama Chat. And things are delaying on me. Green Gables is in the house. Oh my goodness. I am so tired today. It's not even funny. So tired. And then I've been looking at my hair going, I seriously need to do something because it's so long back here. So it's like between a couple things. And you can still see where that gray streak is. I know. Hey Tanya. I'm just tired. So what has happened is the way that it's been getting cut. So usually it's really short, like here, and then cut short here, and then it's been kind of growing out. Well, now I've got this huge, can you see that? I cut it, you see, and then all the natural body of my hair is just nuts. And I don't know what to do because I'm thinking I want to grow it out. But can you imagine that? Not really the way I like to go. Amanda's here. Yeah, it's Heather Lamb. Tanya says, I need to virtually meet you. I have to check out your channel and chat with you more one-on-one. Oh, that's so sweet. I like when y'all make friends. Cheryl said, good afternoon from Wisconsin. I finally made it. Itinerant apprentice. Hi. Dawn says, hey, Trish, need a mama chat. I know. I could have fell asleep. Trish, I always love your hair. Can you believe I've had mine shorter than yours? What about when I had mine really short, when it was the bad dude cut? I'm trying to figure out. So here's what I run into is next week is the company Christmas party, and I usually try to go Shazam. I'm not feeling very Shazam. All of this bandana, grandma's in the house. Chaos and Grace made it. I love it. Well, and trying to figure out something going on here. I really want to grow it out, but the length I think I want to grow it out is probably here. Just to hide the fact that I'm a little bit I don't care. I just ate McDonald's twice in a row. Kind of deal. I like bandana grandma. She's got room for a mom of 7 whose youngest kid is 29. Heck yeah. Let's see here. Chicky says, we're on winter break and I'm bored. Thankful for Mama Chat. Oh, I know. You see, I kind of changed this. It's the mommy social hour. If it's only an hour. Hello from Ontario. That's Tina. Hey, Tina. Kicked my kids and husband out of the room to have some mommy time. I need some mommy time. It happens at 2 o'clock on Tuesdays, Eastern time. Hey, girls, I took a box and used zip ties to add baby toys to it for the baby to walk around and play with. That is cute. I love that idea. I have to post. Yes, post pics on Instagram. You need that. I'm administering an ACT practice test, so I'll be up and down a few times during this chat. Oh, man. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what to do because I keep looking back here and I'm this does not look right. And, and I'm a little bit it's the company Christmas party. Lots of pictures taken at the company Christmas party for the years to come. Aaron's here. He caught. Yeah, before I get on history for my big kids. Woo woo. I love it. It's 11 a.m. here in South California. Nice. We hit the library today. It was really nice. I was a little bit sad because Creating Essence, I met up with her last week when we hit the library. I was oh, kind of wish she was there today. It was really neat. But last night, I'll tell y'all in just a minute. Well, yesterday, I kind of went off my diet. Yeah, that's what you think it is. A diet soda. I was man, I'm it's stressful. I just had to kind of toss it away. And I don't, there's a lot of things I want to talk to y'all about today. And I'm just I feel like I'd be all over the place. And I'm just, you know, when you live in severe stress and you're in that sense of stress, it does crazy things to you. And I mean, I can see it in my face. If you could just see videos from last year, you're like, girl, what happened? The Five Oaks says, yay, another live mama chat. Turned on Barney for my big kids and snuggling a baby. Whoa, whoa. Here Chicky Chicky says, yeah, that awkward stage when you grow your hair out is tough. If you're lucky, you find a style to get you through it. And that's what I was thinking about doing, is like having it kind of trimmed and cleaned up a little bit, probably the beginning. I should do it at the end of this week so it has a week to set. Because my hair always looks better a week after I get a cut. It always looks the best. Green Gables says, just followed you on Instagram. Tanya says, Trish, I miss when we're not live. We're not on live. Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. So today I'm not in the schoolhouse. Today I'm actually on the porch at the tiny house. So that's kind of a big start for me. And I've kind of changed, trying to find that balance in our homeschool for what is reasonable in this time of living in stress kind of deal. Chaos and Grace's restart after the holidays, maybe. Yeah, something. I think, you know, in many ways I have to have some sense of reasonability or reasonable expectation that, you know, the amount of stress I'm under, whether I want to admit it or not, is going to have to have its time and have its place and not have extreme expectations on myself, if that makes sense. And I think that that's important. That is so important. So I'm trying to give myself just, you know, grace. And then at the same time, I'm like, who wants to be normal when I could just be, you know, eccentric? I mean, trust me, I'm not rocking the norm here in my area. In like my demographics, I'm a little bit like, they're like, we don't know what box to put her in. And, you know, that's such a good thing too. Zap TV says, yay, hi Trish, you look pretty today. Thank you. Love your hair. I keep rocking it. Yes, I know. It's just, it's finding, you know, I'm like, but do I want to grow it out or do I not want to grow it out? And then I'm like, I don't want to grow it out. And then I'm like, well, why did I cut it? I should grow it out. It's always the just, figuring out. Bandana Grandma says, I've been on keto 1 week. Our traditional cookie making time with the 5 girls is coming up. I think I'm doomed. You know, so I did that 10-day detox, which was amazing. And then I did that. And then I started creeping some stuff in. Like the diet soda kind of came back in. And I'm not even really a big fan. I'm not loving it anymore. And I'm sure I will accrue the taste for it. But, you know, if I leave it alone, I will not. I am back to drinking coffee, but I'm drinking decaf coffee. So I'm not drinking a lot of caffeine anymore. But, you know, some stuff is itched in. And then I realized I was sabotaging. So I'm not really a traditional keto person. I like eating the fruits. I'm not eating potatoes and I'm not eating grains and stuff like that. And we're seeing so many blessings from not eating the gluten, you know, besides from my daughter looking so much better. But I'm kind of stuck. I kind of had this like, let me see. Heather says, we're still trying to find a balance for schoolwork and we are already semi on winter break. I don't think we're really doing a winter break. I think we're just going to school all the time. Can you hear the train? I was looking to see if you can hear the train. The train's coming through. So last week I started last Wednesday on THM for breakfast and still failed. Oh, 5 Oaks. You know, the whole mental process. And I was like, maybe I should just go back into Weight Watchers. And I'm just like, all the carb eating though, I don't know. I feel so much better. And today I had some honey this morning and carbs. And I was just like, I didn't feel good the rest of the day. Met my stepdad's new girlfriend of 4 months. Mom has passed. Poor new girlfriend. She told me she's, I want to read this. Poor new girlfriend. She told me she's a retired teacher of 35 years, monopolized her in homeschool curriculum and daycare land for hours. Like maybe she's like, but we're bonding. It's great. We can bond. Oh, that's sweet. Hey, Claire. Claire has been killing the THM videos. Yes, I cheated with a pair once. Never thought those words would go across in one sentence. You know what? I'm finding myself, I mean, if you're tempted, just close your ears. But I keep finding myself eating dates. I mean, like, dates are my life. That's my jam. Especially if I can get the dates that were rolled in the coconut and the almond. I mean, I ate a pile of them. And then kombucha like crazy. So, like, I killed the keto with just kombucha and dates. And I felt better and I didn't feel bloated and I looked really good. I'm not going to lie. I'm like roly pulling and I'm going to show you because this is what I do. I show you. But see, like, I know you can't like see it, but like I've got this going. And like within 2 or 3 days, which isn't like huge, but it just has more to do with the fact that that's gastric. That is, man, that train. The train never comes this early. I don't know why it's here today. And it's just, it's just digestive issues more than anything. It's not like I ballooned overnight, but it quickly has that impact. And I don't like that feeling of over the pants and feeling just kind of really tight. And the one thing I realized when I ate keto is that even when I overate, I didn't feel horrible. I felt full and I couldn't eat anymore, but I didn't feel just yuck like I do when I eat the carbs, which I find really kind of like, that's good to know. Um, let's see. Um, oh, I'm missing. Okay, Tanya says my train doesn't sound too bad. So Kitty homeschools in the house. Can I say something about last week's chat? I had a rough day. I mean, a rough day. A lady from my military homeschool parent support group went out of her way to bring me a peppermint mocha. Oh, that is so sweet. What are you doing, son? Covered in sand and water. Oh, I love it. I felt loved. God hears us. I did a whole 30 and dropped 12 pounds. Now it's creeping back on because I can't get it together. I can't get it. And that's the other part too, is like, I think it's unreasonable for me to have high expectations while living with all of this kind of deal. All right, I don't understand, how is cheating with a perfect pair or a date bad? It's better than reaching for a brownie. I had 4 of those for breakfast. Don't follow my example. Mighty 2 and Tiny 2, that is so cute. Did you have the brownie or did you have the dates? No, it depends. It's going on like the whole low carb, and it's depending. And that's where I get into it. I'm like, I get so sick and tired of the legalism. And I've got a girlfriend who just looks amazing, is just shrunk up, and she's essentially doing a low carb, not keto, just low carb. I don't even know if she counts her carbs. She's just like, I need this to be a lifestyle, not a legalistic, OCD, because she can get compulsive. And I'm like, me too. And I hate how it's always about food for me. It drives me nuts. Um, dates, dates are nature's candy. I've been eating them too. I know they're so good. I'm like saving the seeds. I'm like, can I plant them here? We're so close to where we could plant them. Claire brought me to tears. I really needed to know I had a friend. Isn't that nice? And I mean, it's like, as much as we can be for each other via the internet, just having somebody in person that's just like, hey, friend, and you're like, thank you. Hey, Tracy, you made it. Chaos and Graces, I've realized that THM. How did I lose that? I realized that THM is necessary to keep the inflammation in my body down. I can cheat here and there, but 2 days off plan makes my autoimmune arthritis flare up. Oh, that stinks. She had a brownie on a date. That's so funny. Going back to that. I could eat a date and a brownie stuffed in a pear, covered in chocolate. Just saying. I would die without carbs, literally die. I know probably need to do it, but mac and cheese is my jam. My kids don't like mac and cheese. Hey, hold on a second. Somebody's covered in sand and water. He needs like a shower. Can you hook a boy up? Thank you. You're my favorite at the moment. You can eat all the macaroons. Oh, I found her macaroons. They're like, the coconut macaroons. She loves them. They are so good. But we hid in the health food store, Earth Origins, and I'm going to tell you, like, finding gluten-free is just in a box package is just so hard. Without rice flour. That's the big part. Without rice flour. I ate carbs today. Can you tell I'm yawning? Oh, I keep losing my spot. The clock is my enemy today. I have to go and clean up my dining room sewing mess before my honey comes home. Nice seeing you again, Trish and friends. Nice seeing you, because you've been making, listen, Bandana Grandma has been like cranking out some mittens. They are adorable. Claire says, I ate chocolate cupcakes for breakfast. THM cupcakes made with coconut flour. They are the best. I know they are. I need to make a zucchini cake. I really like the zucchini chocolate cake. I can't figure out any diet because living in a foreign country makes grocery shopping so hard. Yeah, you'd almost have to go with like the fact of like no packaged food, whole food, so you can just be like, this is what this is and I can eat that from scratch is the best way I could figure. Erin is on, I'm eating a plant-based, high carb, low fat, and I'm losing weight and feeling full and sane. And she looks amazing. Well, beautiful as always. Erin's always beautiful, but just absolutely beautiful. And that was like the first thing. That was really the first thing I noticed when I met you, Erin, was just like how much your skin glowed and just like you just were beautiful. I mean, you're beautiful, but it was just like, I don't know, she shined. She looked so healthy. I looked probably rough after a week of being at youth camp, eating camp food. So Kitty says, I hope to get housework and light school. Sigh, it ain't happening. I'll clean my house, cling to caffeine, and pray over my broken vacuum. That is so cute. I love THM for the reason that Claire, for that very reason of eating chocolate muffins. The 5 Oaks says, oh, me too. Tired of rules. The rules just make me feel like I fail daily. And I'm just realizing, like, if I stick to and one of the problems I run into and that I have to be so careful about, like, a keto, low-carb style, is all I want to do is eat meat and cheese because that's just convenient. And I'm not eating anything else, and I need to eat the salads and stuff, but I don't. And it just makes me start feeling very heavy. And, finding that balance that I don't get, like, caught into one thing or another. Hello, Asbury Homestead. I don't know much about THM. How does it control? Hi, ladies. I finally made it to another chat. Hello, Ashley. We'll be doing a poopy diaper while listening. Inflammation is a question mark. Destroy that like button. Oh, thanks, Mag. Yeah, y'all give me a thumbs up that are here. We'll be changing, destroy that like button. Things about focusing on just cutting out one thing at a time instead of trying to eat totally different in one day, right? Hi, Trish. How are you? Thank you, Crystal. I'm tired. I am really tired. I start out great, and then I feel like people keep sabotaging it. They don't mean it. I know they mean well. I know where they're like, oh, but you have to try this. You're like, no. And they're like, but yes. Can I have that recipe? Oh, what recipe were we talking about? Erin's giving me smiles. You looked great, and you look so young. Thanks. I don't feel young. I have to tell you about that because falling like a 40-year-old. Woo! Need to change my mindset from what I can eat to what I can. I need a retreat to put together homeschool plans and meal planning. I don't even feel like I want to try to do that. I'm just like trying to keep it together. Crystal says I started drinking vegan one chocolate protein shake with rice streaming quinoa or natural soil. Today is day one. Good job. Peace, Love, and Homestead said, hey, Erin, I'm a high-carb, low-fat, plant-based, too. I feel great, and I lost 30 pounds so far, but it's coming off slowly now that I'm older. I've been watching you for several years, and I think you're looking great now. Thanks, Heidi. I look way better than a couple of years ago, coming right off that postpartum. Let's see. Oh, y'all are getting on it. Let's see if I keep up. I do that on Trim Healthy Mama. I do a lot of S meals and I need E and FP. Yeah, I do that with Trim Healthy Mama too, where I'll just kind of get caught up in the S meals and I stop everything else. Heather, HCLF is high carb, low fat. And that's usually what I do with the old style Weight Watchers, and I lose weight quickly. But then I have a hard time. I actually have a hard time being on a high carb, low fat meal plan when I am under stress. When I'm under stress, I just want fat. And it's so hard. But then also when I was reading, like when you're on a low carb, high fat, and you're stressed, you're not going to lose weight too. I have a love-hate going with carbs and sugar. Me too. So let me tell you, I didn't tell you, okay. Last week, Thursday after, Wednesday night, if y'all watched the one, I ended up in the ER Wednesday night with my son. I thought he broke his fingertip. Like, it looked like his fingertip bone was sticking out, like right here. It's really weird. And they were wrestling around and they crushed his finger. And apparently he had an infection going underneath his nail that we didn't know about. You know, like you don't see it and it just kind of comes out of nowhere. And when they were rolling around wrestling, the boys, it broke it open. And so it was actually like the pus and stuff sticking out, but it looked like a bone and it was hard. It was really weird. So took him, got him his x-rays. Well, last night, got to spend the night at the ER again. Not the whole night, but just part of the night. Let's see what Chaos and Grace says. Kitty's schoolroom. You don't eat a whole lot of processed food on THM and nothing white or refined. I have an autoimmune disorder, which means inflammation is very bad for my body. And that's what I feel like I'm fighting the most is inflammation, to be honest. I feel like it's like right there. I need good fats in my diet to lose and to even think I cut fat in my brain. It's mush, right? White refined food processed food increases inflammation, and McDonald's and Burger King had a little bit of that yesterday and today. That sounds like paleo. I have autoimmune issues too. So yeah, so I went to the ER last night again, and this one's with the baby, the 2-year-old, and she was complaining about her nose. And my husband looked at her, and he's like, "There's something in there." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, anyways, there was like this thing up in her nose, and we're trying to get it out and doing our best without like traumatizing this poor baby. And there's the dog barking. Sorry. Hush. Addie, go let her off the chain and then shut the screen door. She's barking at something across the street. Sorry about that. And we were working to get it out, and we were trying to do the flush, and without like, but I was so terrified of hurting like the inside of her nose and stuff. And so I took her to the ER because at one point it was hard and it looked like old gum up her nose. I'm like, how in the world did you get old gum up her nose? It ended up, so in the end, and we have had another kid in the past, like I think it was my oldest 12 years ago, had stuck something up her nose like a pony bead and just pushed it out. So I took her there because it looked like hard gum. And so we got a little bit down her canal and then it would go back up and the whole 9 yards. So it was nothing. We were in and out in an hour. And they got it like to the edge of her nose and they're like, stay still, stay still. And I'm like, yeah, push that sucker right out. And it was a paper towel. She had wadded up a paper towel and shoved it up her nose. I mean, like the thing was like, could you see about that big. And I was like, oh. But at the same time, it's just high stress. We had a 4-H meeting that day. And Tanya blocked the other nostril and have him blow. Well, and that's what I did too, was like I actually had her mouth open and tried to blow air through to open up. I tried to suck it out of her nose. It was bad. And, so we had a 4-H meeting. And the hospital we go to is actually right next, but we live, quite a distance from there. And so it was like was there, came home, went back, and then I was just like, you know what? I just got, and I looked and I said, you want to go get ice cream, little girl? And I took her to McDonald's and I got me a McDonald's and I had some ice cream and I was just like, I don't even care. It tastes great right now. It was fantastic. And I ate that ice cream and like this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel this. what is, I gotta see this. Okay, my comments aren't posting right. Testing 1, 2, 3. I got that one. Crystal says, I have a lot of inflammation in my legs right now, using a lot with moving, have a medical condition, which if I am on my feet and legs too much, it flares up. Oh, that stinks. The bee lady says, Trish, howdy, just got back last night from Colombia. Our son married a girl from there. Missed your streams. Oh, but you're back. That is so awesome. Claire says the things they put up their nose. Oh, I know. And I was just like, please don't ever put it up your nose. And then my husband's like, you took her and got her ice cream. She's gonna be shoving everything up her nose. I'm like, no. Ashley says her 2-year-old had wadded up toilet paper in her nose. I fear an ER trip one day for it. I'm actually feeling, let's see, just now stopping in for a bit. Hey, Rachel, my daughter stuck a paper coin thing up like a game piece up her nose. Oh, Queen, if I don't care right now. My little brother put over 150 hole punch circle pieces up his nose and in his ears when he was 2. Mrs. Rhonda. Let's see, I'm in here late. My girl put a bead and then broke a crayon tip in her nose. Later that year, she put a piece of popcorn in her ear. See, it's not that bad. Now I'm only seeing my comments. Oh, hit refresh. Kitty, hit refresh. Trish, I noticed that when I have to eat ice cream, I take 4 to 5 organic coconut oil capsules, and it keeps me from gaining weight. See, and I'm kind of like having that whole like, should I be popping organic oil? Is the oil better? Because I bought some so I could take them, but I'm a little bit like, I haven't figured out exactly what I need to do with them. I just knew I should buy them, so I bought them. So how's my daughter now? She's fine. She went to school today. She was like, they got it out, and she was like, oh, my nose feels better. And of course, she was charming. She's like, thank you. And we didn't get ice cream, and we went and got ice cream. She ate. I mean, and then they swore they knew we must have came from the yard, because like her ice cream cone was this big, and we went through the drive-through, so they really didn't know. Her ice cream cone was as big as my head, and then like there's the cone of soft serve from McDonald's, and so she ate half of that, and then I was like, Mommy, you want Mommy to hold that for you? I have a cheeseburger, and then I ate the rest, because that's how I roll. B lady says, I forgot to tell everybody hello. So I did have a lot of good time. My husband and I were, we all went to the woods on Sunday, and down here we like ride these big buggies and stuff, and we're going through the woods and all of that. And I had jumped up for something, to grab something, and my husband, thinking, oh, I should stop, he didn't. He almost threw me off the front. It was crazy. And I hit the ground. I thought I was going to fly over the end. I didn't. I ended up dropping my weight quick enough that I hit the board and like busted my knee. I have like, it's just a little thing. It's just aggravating where I hit the thing and kind of slid on it. And he was just like, I'm like, oh my goodness, you just tried to kill me. And he was like, but you were so agile, like a 20-year-old. I was like, but I felt like a 40-year-old. And he was like, I'm like, I don't think it's good to fall when you get this old. Just nuts. So I've been kind of like limping around too. So I didn't get as much sleep as I should have last night. And then today came faster than I was prepared for. We hit the library. And then, I'm just like raced home. And then I could have fell asleep. I was like, okay, it's 1:45. I need to get back on here. I got to get this set up to get going. But man, that little girl crawled in bed with me, and I was like, oh, just slept. All right, what am I? I'm missing one. All right, so B lady says it usually calls for chocolate cake. I think you're talking about the coconut oil. And then Claire says, put coconut oil and MCT oil, grass-fed butter in your coffee, the best, and keeps you regular. Well, and I had done that in the past for a while, and it was working out kind of good. And, I have to put some stevia in it or something, because I like that sweetness. And as much as I was just like, no, it was just like, yeah, we need to go sweetness, because I did cut out all sweetness for like 3 weeks. But I'm finding like there's certain things I'm just like, too sweet, too sweet, too sweet. I don't want super, super sweet anymore. I really want ice cream now. What about having the ones that are frozen bananas? Oh, that's good ice cream. Like the frozen banana ones. Claire says the single serve ice cream from Brianna Thomas is the best. I haven't made that one yet. Sounds yummy. Does it have coffee, a greasy taste of? I like butter coffee. Putting the butter in there and the coconut oil, because I find, everybody's like, oh, you need to be hydrated to stay, if you're dry, and like my skin's really dry. But drinking them, I have like the best lip gloss the rest of the day. Kitty says, hey, don't knock 40. I'm 41 and I wish I felt 40. I'm feeling 40. I mean, granted, I got 100 days until I'm 40. Not even. I got like 84 days until I'm 40. But I'm still like, ooh, I'm feeling this. I'm not feeling this young. But then, and the other part too is I'm trying to figure out, like, my mom's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I think I'm going to do I think I want to go to her shop. Anybody want to come down to Florida and celebrate my birthday for me in February? Because I think it's the 24th. I am going to have a big crafting birthday party. I think I'm going to get a karaoke machine and a disco ball in the craft studio. And maybe we'll go live or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Anybody want to come party with me for my birthday? All right. So I feel like a 40-year-old. Tanya's laughing at me. Trish, all in all, I think you're doing an amazing job with 6. With no house. Yeah. But, we got a couple weeks and we might have the other house closed so we can start figuring out what we're going to do. But we still don't know what we're going to do. What we're going to do at all. Not of Blendwell. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, Kitty. Oh, y'all are having like your own side conversation. All right, so Tanya wants to do an age check. Everybody put your age in. I will not say your age, so it's not recorded. But y'all know I'm 39 with less than 100 days to go till I'm 40. It's still a little bit like mind-boggling. I'm here already. I'm kind of like, where did the time go? But 40. I guess I can't fake off being a kid anymore, right? Is it too late to fake off being a kid? Because I still kind of feel, I guess I don't feel like a kid anymore. But I do. I kind of do. Age check. Coconut oil is key in the body metabolizing fat in your body. Oh, you're going to be 50 in March. Nice. So you're just 10 years older than me. Halo Top is super yummy. Oh, I mashed bananas and put sugar-free cocoa in and mix. It's my pudding. Ooh, I like that. That's a good one to do. I'm like slow on the top here. 42 in January. If I'm eating paleo, I feel like 20. See, that's like that right there. That's what you mark it with. I might be this old, but I feel like 20 when I'm doing paleo. Trish and everyone, 40 is younger. It's young. Thank you. Love frozen banana ice cream. I like to put cocoa powder in it with a little maple syrup. And I like doing maple syrup and pecans. Oh, word. My birthday's February 23rd. That's my birthday. You want to come down and party? Where you guys talk about autoimmune issues. I had a positive blood work for autoimmune, but I need a larger blood panel done. I've got the butterfly rash and hair loss that goes with lupus. Oh, wow. That would be so fun. Perfect time to come to Florida. Yes. And there's like a regional airport that flies like the cheap airlines out of, because the shop where she's at, where I go to, it's in Punta Gorda. And so like there's a regional that has like I don't know what Allegiance is there. So it's like, $99 plane tickets. And there's a hotel right next to it. And then there's like the big like international airport in Fort Myers. Those are like the 2 close ones to her shop. And I have to get to her shop, but it's not a big deal. That would be so cool. I won't have the money, but would so be there in live stream wearing party hats. If you go live for your birthday, I'll make it a priority to make it. Oh, you guys are so sweet. My parents own a house in Newport Richey. Newport Richey. I think that's on the other side, isn't it? Or is that up in Tampa? Sorry, though, I can't afford. I know. I couldn't afford it. Or even like try to get away. It's asking much. It's only being hopeful. Y'all are so funny. I've decided to be you when I grow up. Michelle just turned. Oh, sorry. I said I wasn't going to say ages. I'm administering that practice ACT for my son, and I'm in and out of the chat. Cool. My birthday's February 5th. Woo-hoo! I think my aunt's birthday's that day, too. Yeah, Allegiance is very inexpensive. Sometimes they have, like, super cheap things. I haven't flown with them yet. Trish, we adopted our youngest, who was 4 months old, when I was 40. I think I watched your video on that one because that was really awesome. I feel like 75 some days. I'm getting my handicap paperwork filled out tomorrow. Do what your heart tells you. Trish, you will be guided in the right direction, moving or building a house, whatever size and shape you need, right? Trish, our daughter lives in Jacksonville, and our place is in Yulee. I know where that is. The shop is in Southwest Florida, so it's south of Sarasota, north of Fort Myers. I would definitely come to a birthday party if I could afford it. I just turned 36 around Thanksgiving. Woo woo, Mama Schmoozy's in Florida. You should come. You should come. You should come over. We'll get Saida in there too. I'm getting a Cricut this Christmas. I could bring it. You could bring it. It would be fun. Friday we were in the Christmas parade with our 4-H group, and I found out that I am not as coordinated as I thought anymore. I jumped and tried to jump off the trailer to scoop up the horse poop. No, that's like the beginning of like, and this is where it went wrong. Parties in Fort Myers. It's just it's just north of Fort Myers. It's not too far north. I ended up stumbling and falling onto the pavement instead of landing on my feet. Still have road rash. Right? Hey, Christina, you made it. Hey. If we can get Abby to cross the land and come over from the other side, that would be fun too. That would be fun. We'd just be like, YouTube mommy craft time. Wouldn't that be a lot of fun? And my mom's like, I'm gonna get crafts together. I'm like, I want it to feel like high school, like a high school PJ party where we have glitter and weird music and kind of thing. Trish, I have an older Cricut and folks keep saying I needed to upgrade one. Can anyone explain here? So the part about upgrading is the newer ones have you connected the old one into Design Studio? So Design Studio, you can lay all your stuff out on your thing, and it just makes it so much easier, and you have so much more control. But I'm not sure if the older ones don't connect or not. My mom like really knows that stuff. So Christine, the party is my birthday. You should come to my birthday party in February in Punta Gorda. It'll be awesome. I have the same symptoms but don't have lupus. There are so many. Oh, new Cricut doesn't have cartridges. No, I have like my new Cricut, I can put cartridges in. There's a spot for them. It's just not as evident, but there's no place to put like the pad on there. I wish I could come down. Too many animals to leave for somebody else to do, right? I agree with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Hey, I am wearing my shirt. This is not a sponsored thing, but I will tell you, you have to go there. If you've got little kids, have you heard of this one? A Year of Playing Skillfully. So I first seen that curriculum, Farmhouse Schoolhouse. Maybe she's amazing. She like is one of those that kind of makes me feel like I'm not measuring up as a homeschool mom. But I met the ladies that do that put it together. I met Kathy, the real Kathy Lee, which in the real Kathy Lee, she is she has her own podcast, and she's pretty darn remarkable. And they both have a pile of kids. And I kind of told them when I met them in Atlanta at that homeschool convention. I was just like, I've been having kids for 13 years. I'm just tired. And I find myself not really interacting with my little ones as much as I used to. And so I'm just like, could this help me? And they're like, that's why we wrote it. We were running into the same thing, and just to remind us to interact and all of that. Okay, get this straight in my mind. Party is in Fort Myers on 23rd. I think it's that Friday. So it's the 23rd of Friday. I have to look. It's going to be that Friday. So it might be the 23rd or the 24th. I haven't figured out if my birthday's a Friday or Thursday yet. But yes, it's in North Fort Myers in that time. And if you have a RV camper, you can park it in the parking lot and stay the night. I'm going to be in Lehigh, Fort Myers on the 8th and 9th. We should meet up. Yes, we should totally meet up, Christina, which kind of means you got to come to me because it's always hard. I got to send me a message, Christina, and let me know more because, yeah, I'm close enough. I am close enough. I got to write that down. 8th, 9th, Lehigh. Okay. Kitty's schoolroom. So do I, and the glitter is what I really got me thinking I might just have to come down. You should come down. I told my mom, I'm like, I want a disco ball. 23rd is February. Okay, so it is that Friday. Yep. Oh, what's Oily say? What's Miss Lori Oily said? I lived low carb for 17 years, but had regular fall off the wagon carb binges. THM came into my life and I realized that carb cravings was my body was letting me know that I needed some healthy carbs. I need, and I agree, I need apples and all of that. Sorry, the 15th and 16th. Okay, 15th and 16th. That's better. Because the 16th I'm going to be busy. It's going to have to be unless we meet up morning of the 15th or 16th. Trish, we adopted a 4-month-old 2 days after my 40th birthday. I love that. I'm kind of like wishing to have more children, but via adoption instead of my body birthing them because my body is so Trish, so you have shirts. Can you stand up? I will order one. I don't own my own shirt. I don't have my own shirt program yet, but this is the Say Yes. Can you see it really well? It's Say Yes, and I bought it when I was with them. All right, so let me tell you the big part about this. You have to go on Facebook and like their page. I think they're doing 12 days, and I think they're on day 5. Day 5, it's the 5th. They're giving this program away. I spent $150 on this program. It is phenomenal. And it has books to read and what to do for the month kind of deal. I kept mine in page protectors because I like the way it goes out. And the pictures are phenomenal. And there's a lot of different projects and stuff to go on. It's huge. And what I kind of need to do, I haven't got it set up. I like it, but in my chaos, I am not completely using it all. But it is just, I love this, and we're getting used, and I let my older kids kind of facilitate it more than I facilitate it because that's just what works out. Oh, that sounds like fun. I'm all the way out in Cali, so not this year, but this summer we are moving to Tennessee. Yeah, come on, Five Oaks. Maybe we'll just do it every year. We'll have a big birthday blowout for me at the cow, and have a party. We'll have a party the Just So Trish annual Mama Time Out party. Okay, so let's see. What grades, ages do you use the year of playing skillfully? So they kind of talked about it really encompasses that 2-3-year-old age to 7. But I really feel like my older kids get a lot out of it just by organizing that play. So it's definitely, I feel like, can easily encompass the whole family, but it's something you can use year after year, and it's not just preschool or kindergarten, but you can use it through 1st and 2nd grade easily. And I'm not affiliated with them. I started the paperwork, but with chaos, I just never finished it. So I'm not sharing it with you to be go through my link on this. I'm not affiliated with them yet. I just haven't finished that. I'm in Tennessee in Leapers, folks. I love it here. Lived here since I was 2. Oh, I love that. I'm in Carolina. That's a big change from Cali. I love playing skillfully. I wish I had it, but could never bite the bullet to buy it. I bought the bullet I bit the bullet and got it with realizing I wasn't going to fully implement it. But the other aspect is, having a 2-year-old, I will use this for the next 5 years, and easily for the next 5 years. And then I also think it's something that you're not going to get rid of, because I will use this for grandkids again too. I'll have it for grandkids. It's just really an amazing program. And if more kids come along, we'll have it then. How about a California meetup? My husband doesn't like me to go far from home. Just saying. I don't know. I think I can make it out to Missouri. Should we do like a Bronson, Missouri meetup? Would that be a cool one to do? I don't know where we'd do it at. I don't know. I'd love to have more, but find myself already nuts with 3. In my defense, I had 3 in 4 years. Hey, I get you, because I had 6 and 7 years. No, 6 and 8 years. 6 and 10 years, but I had like the first 4 or 5. Where on Facebook? Homegrown preschoolers. Homegrown preschoolers is what you want to look for to find the playing skillfully. And then I shared one of the giveaways on the Facebook page. I need to share it daily, but I do have one. Let's see. I keep like scrolling through. They gave the book away. They did. I bought my book, but I believe they're giving a book away every day. It's incredible. 36, but my birthday is this month. Happy birthday! Link the year of, yeah, I will do that. I will link the playing skillfully. Playing skillfully. And I love it. And I love the way they link the topics and the little books together, and they link like something for mom, and there's all these different ways of going in there. Kitty, let's get one. Wait. Let's see. Darn, I'm late. Hey, Little Mountain, you made it. Lady B says, I tutor literacy. Cool. All right, so I'm trying to keep where I'm at. Is there a link? Yes, there's a link. I'm going to get you a link. I'm looking for something to simplify high school. Any suggestions? I got one. Let me see. I actually have my school stuff here. I'll show you, because we've moved, trying to find the fit in my stress and chaos. And as much as I want to buy a curriculum, it's just like finding the perfect curriculum. I bought the BJU. Not a good fit for us. Too many pieces for this ADHD mom in so many places. So what I've done, and I'll show you what I've done, is this is like my main plan book. Yeah, and that's my house, and that's my tree that we still haven't got in the house. It's, porch living. So this is kind of like my main part where I have things going, and then I put all my references in here and in here. So I'm keeping them in totes, and then these binders are actually in the house, and I keep them in the house. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the month out of here, and I'll put it in my main binder here. And then I keep all my references. So I just want to show you that, because that's kind of like what we're working on now. And we're doing some unit studies too. So let me see. The book I really like, and I'll put a link to it, maybe. It's in the house, of course. Let me see. Let me grab it real quick. All right. I got to figure out how to hook these things back in my ears. Trish, some of us didn't catch how to get the free book. Can you please? They're doing a giveaway. Let me pull it up. They're doing a giveaway on the Homegrown Homeschooler. And they're giving the books away each month or each day, I think. Let me, no, that's not it. Are you going to, it's in the thing? Okay. All right, so let's see. I'm going to give you the page. I'm going to go ahead and copy the page here. And they have, like, okay, so they're doing different giveaways. So I guess they had one day that was their giveaway. So it's a group. So they're not giving one away every day. Somebody's taking turns giving away. It's this great, 12 days of Christmas giveaway. But I went ahead and linked their one in there. Yeah, so it's a giveaway. It's not that they're handing out the program or anything like that. It is a giveaway. Trish, some of us didn't catch. Okay, so I got that part. I'm looking so how to simplify high school. This has got to be one of my favorite books. This has like been my go-to book as I'm getting us in middle school and preparing for high school coming up. I am just so impressed with this book. The only thing I do regret is that, well, one, the book just came out, and it's by Cheryl Bastian, and I have an interview with her. She is phenomenal. I met her. She had like 7 kids, and I was like, I got 5, and she's like, I got 7, and she's just an amazing, beautiful mom. Let's see. She just came out with this 2 years ago, this book. So I should have grabbed it right when it came out, because I'm like, oh, celebrating high school, I got some time, right? Well, the very beginning of this book talks actually about middle school and preparing your middle schooler in this season of middle school, and then preparing them in the season of high school kind of deal. I love this book. This is just, it has like how to set up forms. It talks about courses. It talks about, unique majors for unique interests, record keeping, requirements, possibility, it has all of that here, which is really an amazing book. So I definitely recommend this book. I'll grab you a link for this book. I'll grab you a link on here, and you can kind of check it out on Amazon. She sells it right on Amazon. But she is just amazing. She's out of Orlando, so she's at the Florida Homeschool Convention, which is amazing. I like the Florida Homeschool Convention, but I was looking at going back to the one in Georgia. Well, I was looking because Julie Bogart is actually was posting her speech thing, and I'm actually looking at going to the one in. All right, so let me get this copied. I can give you this link here. She's going to be at the secular homeschooling. I'm like, I think I might want to go hit the secular homeschool convention just to see what's different and see what they have offering. Because I mean, by default, I'm a Christian homeschooler, but I don't really mind what I use, if that makes sense, because I'm the one underlying the things. But I'd like to see like what they're showing, because I feel like there's going to be like more STEM available there. Little homeschooler. Let's see, what's the bee lady saying? Isn't Trish amazing? I love this lady in Meyer, how all she's doing. Thank you. That is so sweet. Oh yeah, Tanya, you would love celebrating a year of skillful playing for your daycare. I think it would just be one of your most amazing investments. What, your husband won't let you go that far from home? No, he's a weenie, because he's like, you don't do anything. Oh, I can't do anything now that you're gone. Trish, should we bring our machines to the party? Yeah, bring your machine and play. The really cool part, and I have some videos, just go through my videos, and I have some of the crafting cow and like the crafting lounge, or how I store, and you can kind of get a sense of the place, and it has transformed over the years, but there's so much to do there, and you kind of just bring your supplies and play. Michelle, I'm seriously considering My Father's World next year, and if it works out all right, I'll stick with it through high school. Katie, I'm in the same boat. I was just on My Father's World curriculum the last few days, and I'm kind of piecing something together to get me there. What I'm doing now, because there's a lot that I could keep and still bring in with My Father's World. But I don't think I'm going to do cultures and countries off the bat. I think I would do Rome to Reformation, because I feel like in the last few years, we spent a lot of time doing all the stuff. So my daughter was like, hey, we've kind of left off. I want to do Greece. I want to learn Greece. And, you know, I'm like, I'm not going to buy curriculum kind of deal. But I've in the past have used Hands of a Child. I don't know if any of you've ever used that. I get them off of CuraClick, and I have a few of them. So I bought, I don't know, I bought two. I didn't really need to buy two, but I bought two because I bought the one and then I realized I wanted to buy the other one. So this is essentially a file folder lesson plans for ancient Greece. And what's really cool is they have, you know, no affiliates. This is just what I decided to use, and I over-purchased as usual. But what I really like about it is it talks about like what to do. It even gives you like, here's your table of contents. Here is like day one, you know, what you're going to be learning. And it goes through what the different parts of the book are. And then they give you library book links. So we went to the library and I picked up books for that. It gives you activities, instructions, and then this is the file folder. So it goes into detail explaining it. I plan to actually do some videos as we do this. And the other part is I don't actually care how long we take to do this lesson. If we take 3 months, if we take 2 weeks, I don't care. We're just kind of moving with it. Let's see. Went over and liked their page. Yay! What was the name of the curriculum she just held up? Okay, which one? Either it's Hands of a Child, and I printed mine black and white, and I combined mine because that's what I do. I like this one with, and you can buy these on curriclick.com, curriclick.com. I love this book by Cheryl Bastian. I threw the link in there, and I'll put this in the show notes. This is a great one for outlining your way to go. And then I just got this one, and we're still learning this one and using this one, but I like it as my reference point with my preschoolers and kind of my littles, so like 7 years old and younger. I really like this one because it's a teaches very much interactive play kind of deal. Gotta run. Chaos and Grace has got to go. Oh, it's like 2:58. I'm running out of time. Gotta run. Have a super day. BJ, you look so good in theory. Laugh out loud, but I'm sure it drives us nuts. Cool. Let me do the live show though. It drove me nuts. There's just so many pieces. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like using part of BJU's textbooks, like the history textbooks right now, as part of our like spine. And I'm using the 6th grade one because I was kind of middle of the road in that area. And I'm using that to read from, and plus a bunch of other books. But I come to realize there's just so many pieces, and that's why I kind of run into Sunlight. I did Sunlight too. There's just so much. It's overwhelmingly so much. And one of my things I like about My Father's World, I did from My Father's World for a while too, but there's not as much stuff. You know, you're still getting in deep, but it's not as much stuff. Trish, like all mothers, you know your children. Oh, how did I lose that? How did I lose that spot? Oh man, I missed that spot. I'm losing spots. How many children? Okay, so the link I shared seems to be broken. This one? Oh no. All right, I'll put it in afterwards. But look, you want to look up the homegrown preschooler. Okay, going back to babies, are you guys open for more? I sometimes want more, but very much, but my husband is so done. My husband keeps saying, like, let's make a son. And I'm like, not right now. I need a house. I need a full house to do that kind of stuff. What's in Celebrating High School? Celebrating High School, it's great because it covers, I feel like I want to be like the hip homeschool mom. She does some of the best reviews on Facebook. I'm telling you. All right, so here it is. This is the amazing mom. This amazing mom is just absolutely incredible. If you ever have a chance to meet her in person, you've got to take that opportunity and just be like, just so Trish told me to come meet you. And she'll be like, I like her. All right, so here are your chapters in this book. I'm going to show you the book. Magnificent, Make a Difference, Middle School, Navigating the Middle School Academic Maze, Middle School Record Keeping, Future Possibilities. And this is employment, about getting employed. Plan well to finish well. And so that has to deal with high school developing your 4-year plan, general graduation guidelines for colleges and universities, public school graduation requirements for Florida, the scholarships, what about parent-generated transcripts, eligibility for bright futures, test score requirements. That's all in Chapter 5. Big stuff. And then Chapter 6 is meeting college admission requirements. And that has to do with courses recommended and requiring, the content, testing, extracurricular activity, personal interview administration packet. Chapter 7 is high school record keeping, which is awarding credits, designing high school courses. So you don't like have to go, like what I like about her, she has it set up and explains, you know, kind of what you need to look at and consider for designing your own high school courses instead of like having to buy packages, which I thought was really great. Grading, calculating grade point averages, reading list, literature list, literary travel, co-curricular activities, community service, letter of recommendations, essays and writing samples, sports videos, test preparation is what's in that. And then finishing well, like dual enrolling, and what if high school does not go as planned, diplomas, affidavits for high school completed, and finishing well in time to celebrate. So those are kind of, I mean, like she really full round, like thinking it out and getting it all laid out is what I like about this book. My eldest will be in 5th grade next year, right? I mean, and like I've got one in 6th and 7th, and 8th grade is, I really feel like, okay, next year is like the year that's like last of the practice round, time to do high school kind of deal. I'm like last of getting ready, then we hit high school. The other link didn't work either, really. Oh, I'll put them in the notes, the show notes at the end. Maybe one more, I love it. Road trip with you to the secular homeschool convention, right? Where are you out of, Christine? I would love to know. I missed the start, but I brought my diapers to fold while we're here. I love it, Lindsay. Facebook link didn't work. I'll put it in afterwards. Hey, Trish, I am using the same totes for our homeschool stuff and binders. I'm using the totes because in order to be on the porch, I need watertight because Florida is a humid place. And anything I leave on the porch is bound to be ruined. So I don't want to lose my books and lose my things that I have in here. So I'm keeping them on there. And then my big binders, I'm keeping them in the house because I have the whole setup with the cube system kind of deal. So I'm hoping that the cube system, you know, that works out, that I can put a few things there. But I don't want to take over all the cubes in my house with homeschool supplies. So I have just a shelf back over there that I keep them. And I have some smaller ones with like the coloring things on it too. Hey Trish, okay, Mighty 2 and Tiny 2. Can you tell us about your tiny house next? I heard you stay at the start that you were living in a tiny house. So not willingly, but just because we are. So this is what's going on. There's 8 of us and we live in 728 square feet. 728 square feet is less than 100 square feet per person, which defines as tiny house living. And the reason we're doing this is because last year, if you go back to my videos last year, our house flooded. We had a storm, like the storm that I think it was Hurricane Matthew had come through the East Coast, and the drainage system was not right. The water ponded up and flooded my house. And we realized that we had mold. We then, you know, like it really, we had to get a new roof, the whole 9 yards. It flooded the house. And so, we lived in our schoolhouse for about a month, between a schoolhouse and a travel trailer. And then we have another house. So we have 10 acres and we had this little house that we were living in, little, you know, 1,600 square feet. Doesn't feel so little anymore, let me tell you. Perspective is everything. And we were just waiting for our older house to sell. Well, 2 days before closing, it didn't sell. So at that point, I was just like, I've had enough of this. We'll move back to the other house. So we moved back there and we renovated it. Well, after living on 10 acres and having the ability to have barefoot free range children, and your children being used to being barefoot free range, it was a very hard to reacclimate to living there. And in the meantime, this house here is across the street from the house that flooded, and the sweet man that lived here, our neighbor, passed away. And so the house went into escrow for a couple of years. and it came up, and my husband bought the entire estate on a heck of a deal. There were some strings attached, so we had to take care of, but that was fine. And it was almost brand new condition, except this was Hurricane Charlie had come through the area, and this was the replacement to his house being destroyed. And he was an older man. And it just seems like he got in here, he got his living room set up, he kind of got his bedroom set up, and then from there he just kind of got old really quick. And I think just everything that happened. And so the place was cluttered. I mean, and I took video, and in many ways I want to share the video of the before and after to the house because it's phenomenal, the transformation. But at the same time, it just has to do with what aging does to you and having a traumatic event happen to you, that the house looks like a hoarder. But he wasn't a hoarder. Everything was nice and neat. It's just he physically did not have the ability to take care of himself and his stuff after a while. So we gutted the whole place and cleaned it up and got it set up, and we moved back. So we're right across the street from the house that flooded, which acts as storage. I can see over there my schoolhouse. We're just spread out. We're able to have the goats for the kids to continue doing their fair projects for the fair by being here. And we're waiting on our house to close. So since then, we then got it for sold, and we're waiting on our house to close, and it was under the condition that the other house, the buyer's house, sells. So her closing is in 2.5 weeks, and then our closing is supposed to be in 3 or 4 weeks. So in the meantime, we've had a lot of time to think, like, what do we want to do? And we're just not very decisive people. We keep going, do we buy another mobile home? The one thing that has happened with 8 of us living in here, the house has aged very quickly, and that has been hard. But I've also learned how to live smaller too. But to be honest, it's very stressful because I have stuff everywhere and nothing's under one roof. In fact, I finally just had a monumental meltdown a couple days ago last week, and I was just like, everything has to be in one roof, because what would happen is I'd go to the schoolhouse and they would leave me and they would evade me, and they were constantly evading me, and I was like, stop doing this. So I cleaned the porch out, and I'll show you. Let me give you a better view. I cleaned the porch out. So I have like a really decent space. So this is probably 12 feet. And then I have like the dog kennel here. So the dog kennel's outside at the moment, and the dog kennel, she's been sleeping in her porch without the dog kennel. I need to get that figured out for her. And I took everything out of here, and I brought in this 8-foot table, and thankfully the really cheap tablecloth from Walmart fits an 8-foot table. And it's nice because we're not as squished to eat, so our stress is dropping when we eat together. And we're sitting out here, and the big part is my husband and I are like, oh, we can sit in a chair with a back. We have been eating on a stool for 6 months without a back. So it's like nice. We're like, oh, this is so nice. We can sit back in a chair. I did clean up, and I should do like a little video or sometime in the house. If you watch some of my coffee chats from July-ish, in June, you can see, some of the inside of the house. It has its challenges. It's hard. I don't even have enough place for the laundry. I think tiny living's a sham. I'm not gonna lie. And then I just ran into a girl I went to school with, and she's homeschooling her 2 kids, and they're in transition of selling a house, buying a house, and they're in 600 square feet with the 2 kids. And she's like, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, listen, any smaller than what I have, I feel is like humanly impossible. So I don't know how you're doing any less, And she's like, but you have more kids, twice as many people. I'm like, I know, but I don't know how. All right, so I hope that answered your question. I don't know how much longer. I'll probably do a big sweep through, this is how we did it and this is how we made it. But it just feels like, as much as I want to show you, but with us living in there, it feels so personal right now. Like they're just I want to say just like self-preservation. I don't mind showing you my living room, my kitchen, but beyond that, I'm like, I don't really want to show. because, you know, it's not that it's horrible. It just feels so private, especially with the fact that we're just so cluttered on each other. Right, I think she hits those because she had issues with the Christian homeschool convention circuit. She talked about it briefly in one of her live chat. Oh, talking about Julie Bogart. Oh, I wonder. I really like Julie Bogart. I'd like to actually listen to her in person. I've been trying to do better about doing the podcast. So my favorite people to listen to podcast is The Real Kathy Lee, with homegrown preschoolers. I like listening to Amy Roberts from Raising Arrows. I used to read her blog for 10 years. I've been reading her blog. So I absolutely love her. I like her podcast a lot. In fact, she had one about decluttering and it was so good, especially for like those. And she's like, I was just reading for everybody to tell me what to do. And so she kind of came up with it. And it was really, as a large family that homeschools to another large family, it was like the most reasonable sound advice I've gotten yet. And then I like listening to Julie Bogart, are my favorite ones, the podcast. My husband was so darn done to after 3. We're having number 4. Oh, I love it. Crystal says totes. I love totes. What type are you using? So you're asking Crystal, right? Because mine are just stair lights. Yes, definitely. Congratulations, Abby. Really, I keep looking at every year. Yes, it's so flexible. Are you talking about looking at My Father's World? Probably, because I'm like really behind on the comments. Haha, I read My Father's World and kept thinking Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a curriculum I never heard of. Ha, sorry, missing what you said, reading comments. Creative 2 times mom is here. Yay. The problem I am afraid I will have with My Father's World is that South Carolina high school graduation requirements, if I read correctly, we have to have certain history curriculum covered each year. Do they not? I wonder, Michelle, if is it that they don't cover that content or is not in the year order? Because I believe you can kind of put it in any year order. You can do 9th, you know, whatever, year order. B Lady, I think they called it Steerlight something. Yeah, they're from Walmart. And I think these are considered the 27 quarts. And I like them because they will fit the, you know, my curriculum ones. And so what I've got going on, and let me get through some of the comments and I'll tell you like what I have in there because I like what it stores. Let's see. Oh, see, I keep losing my spot. I keep losing my spot. Ooh, Chris, oh, good. You're in Orlando. I'm going to write that down. All right. Orlando. So yes, Yanks Middle School. It may also be the fact that there are just not into the Middle Ages history. We use the audio. Oh, you're talking about Story of the World, so I must have missed something in there. Thanks, Trish, for all the curriculum. We'll look into them. I remember that also so crazy mold destroyed my health. Yeah, it was a rough. It was rough, and then I had to recover from the mold. And you know, like I was doing really good, and then like the mold hit me, and then you know I've really just, and that's been not even a year ago, and I'm still having a hard time getting back for that. If you go straight to the Well Trained Mind website, you can instantly ground. Okay, so you're talking about Story of the World. Did you ever get the mold taken care of? Some of it, but it's not like safe enough. So that has to be next. And one of the problems I'm running into is I keep getting blessed with some stuff that is like overtaking the house over there. So it's like before we can even take care of the house over there, we have to get rid of stuff again. So I'm going to try to like get myself to the point where I can just like sell the stuff. The assignment book for Story of the World, I think you can download PDF. I am loving PDFs right now, you guys. I am loving. Mighty 2 and Tiny 2 says, living smaller can be stressful. It takes time like an art. But with a large family, I know I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't do it. It's hard. I live in a tiny house. It's 380 square feet on 5 acres, and we love it. But it's me, hub, son, and stepdaughter, weekends only. So it's easier for us, right? And I think, you know, that would be possible. And this is like really efficient. It's just like we still have too much stuff. And then we keep getting blessed with stuff. And that's been really hard. And I'm not going to lie, I have a hard time saying no. Saying no is hard. I have the assignment book. So you're talking about Well Trained Mind. It is to the point that we just have to suck it up and get through it. Creative 2 times mom says, I'm all for minimalism, but I agree with you. Tiny living is next to impossible with kids. The noise, the energy alone is crazy. It is crazy. And being outside and it's nicer time of the year is so much better. It is a sham. We tried tiny living. I lasted 7 months. I've had enough. I am coming up to a year. It will be a year March. And I'm telling you, like it or not, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be here. Trish, do you think living in your trailer has given you ideas about what you need? So when your home closes, you can fix up the damage? Maybe, there's the one problem I'm running into that house is it wasn't built well to begin with. So that's been really hard. And for me, I'm just like, we're going to have to either do a lot of gutting and start over again. And yet you're kind of stuck in that footprint that you have to work with, which is kind of a little funky. Or you're going to just make do and do good enough. And to be honest, my husband is all about make do and do good enough. And I'm going to tell you, after 15 years, I kind of need a break. I just want it to be nice and be done. And so that's really hard. B Lady says, Trish, or can you purchase a large mobile home and keep it on 10 acres? We can do that. And we can actually put the mobile home on the acreage because the house and the acreage are separate even though they're joined. And that's kind of been our plan. Like, we're going to build there eventually and maybe use this one as a rental or a future house for the kids or something like that. But you run into and start finding something over 2,000 square feet that's built well, and you're looking at like $140,000, which in the end isn't bad for a 2,000 square foot mobile home, but it's a mobile home. But then we start looking at building a 2,000 square foot home, and it's $200,000. It's hard. It's a hard call to do. The Vixen mom, the mom said, if I want to do a chat, I'm writing you down, but would you message me on Facebook? But I'm writing that down, a live chat on My Father's World. The part that gets me on My Father's World, I like My Father's World, but then it just kind of feels so structured that then I start losing myself. But I like the fact that it pieces things together. So it's kind of one of those, like, I don't know which one I want yet, but I want the guide so I don't have to recreate the wheel, and yet I want to create some part of it or have that leeway in there. So figuring that part out, and it'll come down. I'll get it. I'll find something. Like, I wouldn't end up doing their I probably would not end up doing their language arts program. Like finding what works for us and finding what doesn't, kind of deal. Trish, oh wait. They have reps that can answer the questions for you. They explain. All right, Trish, it may be that when your children are older, they will want their own space. So I vote large mobile home. Now they have triple wides. Triple wides are, you jump. Okay, so a triple wide, you jump from 140,000 for a double wide to a triple wide that's not half more. So you don't go like 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. You typically go 2,000 to like 2,600 square feet, but it goes from 140 to 210. It's like not even proportional for square footage, which is kind of crazy. But I agree. I think my kids need more space. This ain't cutting it. I mean, something's got to give, like a big RV that we are gone all the time, that for any extended, or I won't lie, I've been looking at a boat. Because I just feel like we need more like fun time, and not like get an RV fun time, but like just go out on the water for a few hours kind of thing. And we're close enough to the water. Oh, Christina, you got me live. Thank you. I'm so behind on the comments. I was caught up and then I wasn't. Fix says we'll talk. Awesome. Mold stain remover after the from sweet. Tanya, will you email that to me or message me that so I know what it is? Because we still have to like pull back to see if there's any extra. With so many littles, I need the structure for My Father's World right now. I'm hoping as my littles get older, I can switch things up a bit. Right. And I agree, because I'm kind of with that. I need that structure, but then I can't be held liable to the structure. Trish, what about a used mobile home? Does it have to be new? I keep looking. We do keep looking for a used mobile home that would fit, because you like lose 40,000 in cost right then, but it just hasn't fit. But I'm kind of a little bit like, give God a chance. He's probably going to, it'll show up when we need it. My husband just bought a pontoon boat. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not gonna lie, I am. The okay, so that's about the mold and the asthma sweet. Trish, I know, and Tanya totally, because when all that would happen, Tanya's like, okay, Trish, okay. She was like, she's had my back when it came to the mold and stuff. Okay, so let me talk to you about my curriculum. This must be a 2-hour mom hangout. I did meet a new homeschool mom, which was really kind of cool. Bless her heart, she's so lonely. I was like, let's go have like mom ice cream time, because who cares, And then I was just like, I think, and we can have a whole nother discussion on this, but it has a lot to do with, I feel like I have unreasonable expectations as a woman my age in my life to try and be. And I've talked about this before, because there's things that I was exposed to younger, of kind of emotional trauma, that has like influenced me to be, I don't know, to have just misguided images. And sometimes, and I was reading one of the ones on Facebook that was like, I just want to eat donuts and drink wine and have that figure and get over it. And I'm like, yeah, why not? Well, why not? Wouldn't that be good? Anyways, what was I talking about that? Oh yeah, going back to having a mom hang out and eating ice cream. Bam. Okay, so I will tell you, so I told you about this one. Love this book. And you can email her and ask her questions and she'll answer them. She's phenomenal. So I went ahead. I needed something kind of more history. I didn't want to like grab something. So I've used Hands of a Child before. I got the notebooking set, and then I've decided to kind of go into doing, this is the project pack. So this one's more, oh my goodness, this is so heavy. This one's more notebooking. This one's project pack. I think they ran $12 maybe each. I don't know. I should not, me. I'm just kind of buying when I shouldn't be buying. Creative 2x Mom says, wow, Tracy, I'm moving near you. We will live in a low-income California town, so it's cheaper. 900 square feet, tiny lot. Whoa, why are you moving there? That's tiny. Anyway, sorry, that was just a side note. For those that come back and watch later, I am so sorry. This is just how my live chats go. And if you're here, give me a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Okay, so this is going to be a flip through. I'm going to hold this up here. A flip through of Hands of a Child. I printed it black and white because it's just more economic. I could print it in color, but I just don't see the need. I didn't even put it on cardstock. I was just like, whatever. But let me show you what's in here. This is my flip through. Let's make sure I got it down. There you go. Because I got cords everywhere. All right. So it's, they have so many different topics. And I'm almost in some ways, I'm like, do I really need My Father's World? Or I could just buy these and really, do a thing. Let me see. Let me get my thoughts here. So they do kind of talk about how to use it. They give you about adapting. So let me get through here. So what I like is then you have the table of contents. And this is just for the grease. And then it kind of gives you like what to do for the day and what you're going to learn. I use loosely, what you're going to learn for each one. And then it's a 10-day project. So this might really take us 3 to 4 weeks to do. See you later, Creative 2x Mom. But it will tell you like what activities to do. And kind of what to do. Trish, you don't need to show us your private areas, your house, even inside. That's your family space. Oh, thanks. Totally don't mind it being this long. I'm watching my work. Cool. It's the fact, I just laugh because then I don't get many people that come back. They're like, whoa, that's a big time investment. Okay. So what I did like was then it gives you like related books and websites. So I hit the library for a lot of these. And then it goes into the, you know, different topics, and it has questions, but it tells you how to set up the file folder, and it gives you kind of an example of what it looks like, and then it gets into your content. But what's nice, so here's like all the big kind of major items that you're going to cover, but then it gets, all of these are for printing for your file folders. Is it going to come in clear? Focus. There it is. Ooh, your online Christmas shopping. Isn't that awesome? So these are just like your pages for your file folder activities. Sorry, I got to remember how to do the thing. And it you know, but it'll tell you what activity to do in the timeline with what you're doing. And I like it. It's nice. I should do a whole video on this later, because that would just be, you know, but I mean, it's nice. It's something different. And we haven't done much notebooking. I tried to do it in the past, and it didn't go well. This is kind of laid out the same, except what you get is you get more like notebooking pages to go with it, but you're kind of covering the same thing. It's really covering the same thing. So in my big thing, and why I like the Sterlite, and this was the whole point, like why I like the Sterlite, is like I can keep my Blaze New Trails, because we're also doing this as our science and kind of nature study, covering that around. And I have the student companion, and then I have like the teacher one. And what's nice is you can photocopy this for your kids. So I just went through, we're actually doing, and I'm an affiliate, but I always forget to link the stuff. I forget to link things because, you know, that's what I do. But it has all these different topics to go through. And we're kind of hitting those a little bit. I actually can even fit in that Sterlite sitting up is our Google Chromebook. Loving these. We have 2 of them, and we definitely use those a lot. Let's see what else I have. I have some readers. Yeah, I've shown you this one before. All the year-round kind of readers that go along, and I like printing them in these with the comb binders. It just makes it so much easier. Oh, Mary's out. See you later, Mary. Watching why my daughter is making brownies. Love it. We just went through all of our stuff from homeschooling to our from homeschool to our belongings. Donated garbage bag and shredded papers. Wow, 8 years of stuff not needed. Hold on a second. Katie, will you get my power cord that's plugged in the kitchen that hangs over the counter? I can imagine that. So cost of ink, I use a Brothers Duplex. I have a whole article on that from Muddy Toe Scholars, .blogspot.com. And that has been, I use that one the most, black and white. And then I have a separate colored inkjet. And I tend, like, the convenience of the monochromatic black and white one is so easy. And I've gotten so used to just doing the black and whites. I tend to do a lot of black and white photos, but I do color print from time to time. In fact, we're doing easy grammar, and we're learning prepositions, and I have stuff to color print, which is really what I need to be doing, to color print. But to do all my printing, I have to go to the schoolhouse, and right now I'm on the porch. I'm on the porch. Yes, this is a power cord behind me because this man was after my husband's heart when it comes to the way that he did stuff. What do you mean? I just plugged you in. It's being kind of temperamental. Let's see. Now, I'm thinking I'm plugged in. I'm hoping I'm plugged in. Okay. I don't want to update. All right. So we have been homeschooling on the porch this week. I'm hoping this is going to be a better method and keeping our stuff here. Oh, mighty too. I know it's been a long day, and here I am keeping y'all on here, and I swore I was tired, but then whenever I get with you guys, I'm like, I'm good. This is awesome. So I've just been kind of keeping it. I'll show you what's in here, and I will do a full video. And I'm hoping, I can't move the schoolhouse closer. It's like, it's, even though it's a construction trailer, it's actually set like a mobile home. So like nothing even happened to him when the hurricane came by. Nothing, which kind of stunk because it didn't stink. I was thankful nothing happened, but I can't move it closer at all. But one day something will get worked out, right? And it will all come together. It's just, it's just inconveniences. All right, so like in here that I've got going on, because that was one of the parts, is like most of my school stuff sits in the schoolhouse, and yet I want to do the stuff on the porch. And now you can hear the dog. Okay, so I needed to make sure I had enough of what I needed without having everything I have. And that is really hard. So I'm keeping like my main books. I have like one of my stair lights is just my everyday stuff, and my other stair light is kind of like backup stuff I might need, but not necessarily every day, but I want to make sure I have it here. And then I have my binder. And in my binder, I'm keeping just like my everyday stuff and reference things I need. Which Easy Grammar book are you using? I'm actually using grade 4. Easy Grammar, and I'm using that for everybody. And I'm using that one because a friend of mine who has homeschooled her kids, she has 4 kids. I have videos of her, some of my very first videos. So just, I wasn't photo savvy yet. About how she puts her kids in college at 14. They start taking college classes at 14. So I took from her example. She had this purple level 1 Easy Grammar, and at the end of the year at the end of the book that they finished Easy Grammar, they would start Easy Grammar over again. The same book through the whole thing, and that's all she used. So from that example, I kind of went off on that one. So kind of the first thing, I don't know what's going on, my dogs. The first thing I found this like school year planner off of Flanders Family. I don't know why I feel like I gotta leave that. I forget that I can just move the monitor. So let me get this set up to show you. It's off flandersfamily.info is where I found this file. And I really like this file a lot. I gotta make sure. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it all done, and I have this narrow conference table that is hard. So I have made a few copies of like Mad Libs just so I don't have the big thick book. But the very first thing is I have this thing this is how I track my attendance on here. All right, so off the bat, in here I have the complete printable for the teachers of prepositions, and all I did was print off from Easy Grammar the preposition section. So my goal with that, make sure you can see me, so my goal with that is that then this would go somewhere else into another book, and I'd do the next section. Grammar equals my hardest, most boring to teach. It kind of is. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of is. So right now we're doing prepositions, but I found something on Teachers Pay Teachers that was had to do with actual speech learning that works really well. And it's kind of a game, so I use it for multiple things, but that we can actually teach prepositions with it. I'll show that later on when I do it. Hey, Crystal, you made it. So I keep it in here, that student part, but in my first pouch, and this is what I kind of call my grammar pouch, is I have everything I need for the students through most of the prepositions, not all of them, but through the prepositions. So it's already copied, ready to go, and I have them in here to do it. My sound is messing up. I wonder if it got pinched. Hopefully it's better. All right, and then another one, I don't want to lose out on sentence diagramming, so I have this little like workbook sentence diagramming book, and then I just print out. Now, if I print it in color, it's because it's going to be used as a reference page from then on. Can you see that? Sound is off a little bit. I wonder why. Manipulative words word grade. Not sure what grade you were teaching. So I have this one, and this is just from the workbook. Doing it here. Let me see if would it be better if I move up here? Is that better? I'm hoping. Let me see. Is that better? You're better looking straight at the screen. So it must be from where I'm setting my camera at. So then I keep this. So that's kind of like my grammar. So here's sentence diagramming, and we're learning prepositions. And I just kind of keep those files. I don't have the entire book photocopied in here. I just kind of have the first section copied in there. And so that's my prepositions. And then I did copy work. Now I found this Farmstead Homeschool. I really like her. She's very Charlotte Mason, which, you know, I'm not really, but I like the idea of Charlotte Mason. And so she had shown a reference of a copy work, and I really like the way the copy work was laid out. And so here's one of them. These are from CuraClick. Isn't that nice? So this is just the manuscript, and this is Kind Kids Care A to Z manuscript penmanship, and it's by Light Home Publications, and you get those on CuraClick. So I have a set for, actually I have a set for number 2 and number 4. So number 2 has already started his, and it's just because, just to help him clean up his print a little bit more. But they're really, I really like the way that they're laid out. I like the structure to them. And then this way we're not just doing verse by verse through the Bible, which I think is good. Gotta go, but this has been super. Thanks. Remember, you're about like hour and a half when you come back, if you want to come back and watch. And then another one I got from them was a celebration of Christian character, and these are in cursive, if you can see those, but really have a nice font to them. And I have number 1 and number 3 doing these, because my number 3 is really, I mean, I think it's a girl thing, really able to close up on the cursive. So I'm using that kind of as Bible and cursive all together. So one of the things I have too for them is, this would kind of go under vocabulary, but I have it in spelling, and this is analogies. So here, and I have these front and back. So this is just talking about analogies and understanding what analogies are. This is from Analogies and Idioms 5 through 6 from Creative Teaching Press. And just kind of giving us the opportunity to talk about analogies to really be prepared for when the testing comes, kind of deal. So then the next part I have in here is spelling. I decided to go back to teaching a spelling curriculum straight out, especially for the phonetics. And I'm using Building Spelling Skills by Evan Moore. So I have 2 kids that are doing 3rd grade level, and so each day there's a different page that goes with it, and then they have a sentence they dictate. Really pretty straight out simple. My 7th grader is actually doing a 5th grade, mostly because that's what I had printed out. And so she's kind of stuck with that. I already had it printed out ready to go, but it has a lot of editing to it, so I like that part. And I print about 2 to 3 weeks out. You know, not much, and I'm not expecting it to happen, you know, every day, any day kind of deal. Another one I had that I printed out, and we haven't quite got into this because we're really going to work on these together because it is a new idea. And, you know, one of the problems I run into, like always looking for self-teaching, is I tend to throw things at them without giving them enough time to do it by example. So we're going to do this by example until they become well-versed. And as they become well-versed, I'm going to just kind of drop them, you know, kick them off the boat so they can swim on their own as they can swim, but not before. So some might get kicked off before others. But this is paragraph. This is another Evan Moore, daily paragraph editing. This is grade 3. And now, you guys, I don't have a grade 3. I have a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th grader. But we're all going to do this because it's still good, and I don't want to throw them in deep water. And sometimes I feel like we get so caught up in that leveled books. But this is what's really cool about this is, for the 4 passages, you go through 4 passages that have everything to do with the same content. So you're really reading really cool stuff as you're doing it, and you're doing some basic editing. And then at the end, you'll get a writing prompt for the 5th day to do. And so you have, again, this is a reference page. You have like how to edit it, the editing marks. And then you have also a really good language handbook. So what I've decided to do is not give everybody their own copy, because then it keeps us coming back to look at, you know, doing this together. So Elizabeth's asking, what am I talking about? Because you just jumped on. I'm talking about some of the things that I have in my daily notebook. So if you've kind of hung out with some of my journey with homeschooling this year and being in transition with our housing from losing it in a flood, we're still in kind of chaos mode. And I thought I was going to solve all those homeschool problems by buying a really big, expensive curriculum, and the world was going to be a better place and everything was going to be easy again. And it ended up not. It ended up not being that. And it ended up causing actually more problems. And so I've been kind of piecing together how to make life work, homeschooling on a porch without a lot of space and keeping just what I need here. Crystal says, Trish, literature look into individual or group, circle C beginnings. There is levels for higher up and you can buy books from them. Amazon chapters. There is activity pages and downloads. Where did I put my pen? So what is that? Literature, look up individual or group, C beginnings. All right, I'm going to look that one up. Literature, group, C beginnings. The younger grade grammar curriculum is still good for elders. Yeah, I think so too. And that's what like one of the things I like about YouTube homeschool moms is the fact of getting to see like what everybody does, and not necessarily, I hate to be like the over and above moms, the over and above YouTube moms that are like homeschool moms that are just like, and we do this to perfection and this is how we get it done. And they look like the cover of the catalog that's selling it. I just can't. Oh, it's Circle C. I missed that. Thank you. Circle C, and it's group or individual. Okay. I can't handle that. But then when I get a mom like Hannah, and from what I understand with Hannah, she typically does a grade lower in her grammar, and she finds that a better fit. And you know what? Just hearing about that just is like, oh, I'm allowed to do that. I mean, even though I don't need to be told I'm allowed to do that, but it's just like, oh, I'm allowed to do that. I'm going to do that. Okay, good, let me do that. And it works out so much nicer just to see kind of what's going on. I just asked the kids how they are liking AC compared to Trail Guide to Learning, which is Charlotte Mason Unit Study, and they like AC much better, and both hiss at the word copywork. That's awesome. And you know, and AC has its own writing, different writing literature book, but we found it to be over and above their heads, and it didn't need to be that above. So I definitely suggest, if you think they're going to struggle at grade level, put them 2 grade levels down in ACE for literature and stuff. And if you think that they're right on target, still put them 1 down, because it was just kind of too much. So it can be used as family projects or individuals, because that's good, because that's kind of what I've been going into. And then, you know, in my binder, like right here, I have the answer key for those paragraph editing. So then the next part comes into is my my unit study on Greece, so our history through Greece. And even though I have them printed out here in my notebook, I just have all the printables I need for doing these projects. So they're already printed, ready to go, and we can use them. And so I figured, you know, that would be the biggest help. I understand the struggle. Even in December, we pretty much do the bare stuff. Well, and it, you know, and this has kind of become our year, and I think this is going to end up being our year to, you know, and it's just going to be one of those, it's like we're getting a lot of really good stuff other places. I love Hannah. I use materials lower than Daniel's level. Right. And I love the fact that Hannah really laid that out in her methodology, because it's like, yeah, I can do that. We put them at a lower level. Use the diagnostic testing. Yes, definitely use the ACE diagnostic testing. My oldest is in 2nd grade, and we held her back a year, and she's still only in 1st grade reading. And I'm trying to tell myself it's okay. Because listen, my 3rd grader came into 3rd grade reading at a 0.9 reading level. 0.9. He finished the year at a 4.5. It is fine. We use Rod and Staff grammar, and we do a grade lower. And I like Rod and Staff. I did a little video on that one. I really like Rod and Staff grammar, but the ADHD messes with me. It just overwhelms me. And I know like it's like easy grammar can be dry, but I think it's like the whole book, it doesn't open, the font's small, it just really does a number to me. And I think that's probably why I keep falling back and leaning into like, I think I really want to give easy grammar a try. The font's bigger, there's more white space on the paper, and for my ADHD brain, and I think for my kids, it's not so intimidating. Lower level materials equals better mastery and less frustration. Yes. So yeah, in my history, I just have the things printed out to go, but I'm keeping that like my, I don't want to call it my teacher book, but my books to go with it externally, just because it makes it easier. Then one of the things I found and I like, and it's in a I don't even know what the published book is. It's from McDonald's Publishing. It's a book that I have, and it's just the states, and it has like something to do with the states all the time. And there's several books, so I did this one just to kind of get my kids kind of busy work, but at the same time training their brain to go in that avenue. And I have that set up. And then I have printed out, I can pull it out, but I don't have it out, is everything I need for my kids to participate in. Let me get the book. Holly Giles, he has the book study going on, which is phenomenal, and I love. So there's for the book study, The Prairie Life, and this has to do with, I'm losing my train of thought. I must be getting tired. It has to do with Little House in the Big Woods. So at first I thought about actually hole punching it and sticking it in my binder in pieces, and then it just became so overbearing that what I did was I printed out what I needed. I think I did all the chapters, or I did most of the chapters for everybody, so that we can begin putting and doing the book study. And I'm using it as a read aloud. And I really needed to bring reading aloud back to my homeschool where we hadn't used it in the past. And that's been working out for history because I've been reading aloud too. And that brings it out. So I printed out just what I needed. And again, I have it in the binder through the study. And then I told you I'm using her Blaze New Trails. And so I have what I needed printed out to do the wild grass. And then something we haven't done that I wanted to get started is we have the Yellow Spot Sun series for doing impressionist painting. So I went ahead and I printed out what I needed for week 1 to go through with them. And there's some really cool stuff. And I printed on better quality paper on the stuff we're going to be painting on. And I really want to bring that in and start bringing some of that stuff into it and watching her videos to do it. But at the same time, I have everything for 1 week. It might take us 3 weeks to do it. Because in our life, dedicating 1 day a week to doing art is not our family thing. You know, and some families are like, what? That is like what we live for. But in our family, it's not. Elizabeth says, doing a lower level is better than not understanding the higher level and not moving forward. Right. And that's kind of some of what we worked into and having some issues with. And, you know, we ran into too is just, we did the BJU math, and BJU math does a lot of estimating and a lot of just different ways of looking at math without being straight out math. And we started really hitting some road bumps. My daughter's doing great doing CTC math. But, you know, my son and my other daughter aren't. And I kind of talked to them and I asked them, and it's really funny because usually I try to keep everybody on the same curriculum. And I asked them, I talked to them, I told my daughter, would you stick around with Saxon math and doing CTC math? And she said, sure, no problem. And she's mostly doing CTC math, but she really does a great job using CTC math, so not a problem. I talked to my other two and I'm like, well, what is it that you want to do? I'm like, I have all these curriculums. What do you want to do? And they're like, ACE. So I'm like between CTC math, really showing how to do it and having that accessible to them. I went ahead and ordered them 2 to 3 math books and got them started. So they should be showing up here, you know, and it's nice because they're just little booklets. They're $3 each. Not a big deal. I keep thinking about the one that Hannah does too. She does a different one for math, and I might end up trying that out later on. But for now, it's really easy to do the ACE math and just order it. And then for my second grader, I actually put her in Math UC. I have Math UC. I have the DVDs, and I'm put her back in Alpha. She's kind of past Alpha, but I put her back in Alpha just so that she could have that experience and restore that like basic adding, even though she's pretty good at it. So she's doing about a lesson a day. She does about 2 to 3 lessons a week. So we'll be through it. And then I have leftover beta from the other ones. And if this ends up being something that works for her more, because it has the hands-on manipulatives, it has a DVD, we'll stick with that. Or she might go into an ACE curriculum. Or is it Minikin or something like that book. Tanya says, I love, oh, let's see, wait, did I miss? Let's see, did I miss? Okay, the baby's napping. I gotta go do school with my big girl. See you later. I love what you're showing, Michelle. I found it to be by mistake earlier this year, and I like how simple this is for prepping and interesting for moms and kids. Oops, that was a statement typing with one hand. Sleeping baby on knee. I have my youngest 12 doing Circle C stepping stones, and my oldest just finishing ones for the girls. Chris likes the penmanship papers. I love the penmanship papers. And then my next order of business that's in this is I really want to do the forestry 4-H projects or the 4-H competition with the kids. And if I can find it. If I can find it, I think this is it. This is it. I have them all in one. So I pulled this up on edis, edis.ifis.ufl.edu. And it's pretty much a project book. And it has projects for them to do in here. Now I printed it out, but then again, I only printed what we needed for the first week or the first project. And then we're going to go through that. And some of it's really basic, like what's a tree? Life skills, learning to learn, defining the word tree. What to do is compare a definition that you create with other definitions. So the activities, you go outside and carefully examine at least 5 different plants that you think are trees. Write down at least 3 characteristics that all the plants have, all 5 have in common. Use these common characteristics to write a definition. Now test out your definition on some plants that could be tricky to define. So then it goes, share and describe the trees you observed, and it's got challenges, and then you get into tree basics. So it's kind of tree basics, and then you get into like a straggler fig, and it has you like go into some of these characteristics. The cool part is it's free. This is all free from the University of Florida. This right here is all free. And so with that, and it's 4-H Form 12. But here's the really cool part. So you can do this as a curriculum, and you can do this and put it together as a project book and put your project summary, and you can turn it in for the year for 4-H, and it works for both. So that's what we're kind of doing here. And so this really nicely blends into the Blaze New Trails, kind of back and forth. And then we work on our 4-H work. But, that's kind of been where I'm heading, trying to keep things simple. And now I'll inject part of my playing skillfully, a year of playing skillfully, and just trying to find that balance of doing school here on the porch, doing school when you live in a tiny house, doing a school when you're constantly stressed. Because me and my kids are constantly stressed, and we're stressed being under each other's toes, big time. So, kind of deal. So let's see. Creative 2 Times Mom says, hey, y'all are still here. We are here because, like Trish ain't got nothing to do today. I do. I just apparently don't want to do it. You like Run Staff because it's no nonsense, straightforward and little. I think I could do Ron and Staff without a problem if they weren't touching the book. If I had the book and I read to them. And, with everything that's been going on, I realized I've really lost, I'm missing out on the value of reading to them. And in the past, we read more, and you get so busy and you get so stressed that you end up you just drop little things that you don't mean to drop, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, we dropped this, and this is really relaxing. And I found it to be very nice just reading out of the book. I don't have to think about it. I'm just open and go reading books, and that's been really good. Sensory bins work for you. We had some sensory bins, and then all the pieces ended up everywhere. And I'm like, how, you have to really monitor that. And with 6 kids, something always comes up. But I know in the Playing Skillfully has themed sensory bins that I'm hoping will work out good, and kind of, instead of having a free-for-all on sensory bins, it can get better. But I mean, they have natural sensory bins. They're rolling in the dirt, playing in the sand, finding rocks, collecting sticks, the outside, very natural sensory bin. Trying the good and the beautiful for history next year. Really hoping it's an answer for us. I love watching it, and I'm just, I'm intimidated. I'm getting a little intimidated, and I know y'all are going to be like, that's crazy. But I'm intimidated that good and the beautiful is so beautiful. And that if I can't make my homeschool that beautiful to implement it, I will be disappointed in failing it. And I know that's crazy. And, that's one of the balances of like, do I want to go with my father's world? Or do I just, I'm a little bit like, or am I going to find that this works? What we're doing, does this work? And will this work by just pulling in really neat hands-on guides and just buying a guide for the next thing that we study, and kind of using a textbook based to kind of like lay out what we should do next kind of deal. And I am kind of using the BJU Heritage Studies 6 as kind of like, oh, well, let's go back and learn about, ancient Egypt and no, we've done ancient Egypt so much, it's not funny, because everything feels like it starts with ancient Egypt. Can you school outside this time of year? Yes. In fact, I'm a little overdressed. It's a kind of warm today. But we will be able to do so for all but 2 weeks. But there's outdoor heaters that I can probably put out here in January and February. So when it comes to schooling outside, about the middle of November until about March, mid-March, and then it's going to be too hot. And it's going to get hot, and then there's going to be time unbearable. And I will tell you, this tiny house living in Florida is almost impossible through the summer, because you're either in your house trying not to die from heat, or you just want to be in a pool. And if you don't have a pool or somewhere to go there, you've got to have more space. And just like you guys get cabin fever, we can get that in the summer because it's so hot. Mustard seed made it. 5 Oaks says, you love that I'm still on, because I just can't stop talking. There's just so much to talk about. So, trying to come up with things like that, and then giving my little people more. But it's been nice because I can leave the door open, the doors open. I can leave the door open. Anyone know of an interesting short video like TED Ed, but that don't constantly push evolution? My kids like watching them at lunch, but they put it in almost every video. You know which ones I liked, and I dabbled with it a little bit, but not a lot, is Discovery TV. Go to the Homeschool Buyers Co-op, and if you go there, you can get like a 30 or 60-day trial, and they have like and they're like little 5-minute videos, if that, and they have like everything. It got a little daunting for me to find everything, but it's like Netflix for educational clips on history and science and all of that. Oh, I gotta figure out dinner, y'all. It's 4 o'clock here. My husband will be home in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But yeah, I do kind of want to I need to get into doing more video editing so I can get some videos out. But, Oh, Trish, that's so great that you're closing. Sorry I had a call I had to take that turned into a great conversation about how to share your testimony in the gospel. How cool is that? That's awesome. Yeah, let's just hope it closes. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not holding my breath. I just feel like, maybe I'm an internal optimist, keeping my chin up, just keep going. But I'm kind of a little pessimistic, like, we'll see. Or maybe I'm just terrified to get my hopes up. Tracy says, this week I'm trying a new method to my homeschooling. I'm signing everything that needs to be done for the week and letting them do it on their own time to see if I get less fight back from the kids. Oh man, good luck. Tell me how that goes, because I've tried that and they just won't do it. And then the last day they can't get all done and then they're crying. And I'm like, Dana, I've heard of that. How did you like it? Wait. What did I miss? Oh, I can't figure out what I missed. All right. So I do think I am. Do you feel like it's too good to be true? It's kind of like waiting for Christmas for so long. You're just kind of like, yeah, we'll see if it really comes. I think that's where I'm at with the closing. It's like, we'll see. We'll see what it does. Starting next year, currently doing Beautiful Feet. Love their elementary, but not their intermediate. And that's kind of, so going back to My Father's World, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I like the way that they do high school, but I don't know if I'm exactly like ready to hand off high school, if that makes sense. I like that it's all laid out and it says what you need to do. But I don't know if I'd be content. But one of the things I do like is I like the way they lay out the day format. I like the way they lay out the lesson plans, so I like that. All right, my neighbor's showing up with a bunch of people to do some work, and then music is loud, so it's probably time to go. It is private, girl, no pressure. All right, so I'm going to take off on here. I'm actually not going to close you in a prayer. I'm going to pray over you afterwards. Or I can pray for you, but just not do any prayer requests. I understand we went through a lot to get this house, and we had to offer 2 contracts. It was a HUD and foreclosure, a lot of red tape. Wow, I'm getting some weird people. I just had somebody weird come in. It's kind of cool. YouTube has changed it so it actually kind of checks it off, and they're like, holding for spam. Hopefully we'll see you Thursday. Have a good school week. I'm so glad you did this for a longer chat today. I needed the long break today. Thank you, Michelle, because sometimes I feel like you're like, really? You're still going? Can you, or my husband would be like, you seriously can talk by yourself for 2 hours? Did I not tell you you're full of hot air? Kind of deal. But Thursday, we're going to do the pocket pillow sewing one. I am way behind. Me too. I probably should have taken a nap today. Probably should have. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to close this in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that you brought us together. Thank you for the ability just to come on together and have a little bit of a social hour. Lord, it's hard. Sometimes we feel guilty for the fact of kind of taking a check out, but yet at the same time, we feel so restored afterwards that we realize the balance is needed. Lord, thank you for the technology you've blessed, and let it just keep providing for our needs that we have, and just lead us in the way that you have for us to go, Lord, and give us a sense of content when we have to make decisions that are hard to decide when there's so many options. And Lord, just let us be guided by you and not by marketing or who's doing what or anything like that, but just let us be guided by you making those decisions. Dear Lord, thank you for the camaraderie and the fellowship that I receive, but what everybody else also gets when we come together, and just sharing the information and the knowledge. In your son's precious name I pray. Amen. Thanks. I love it. It makes me feel so good. I will talk to y'all again. We'll be on Thursday for the live show, for the sewing show. And then we'll be back next week. The nice part is I think Christmas Day is on Monday. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. I'll talk to you later.